All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation. I guess we'll call it the witching hour / quick hits. It's July 3rd here. We're talking about the 6-game slate that kicks off later this afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at. A little bit of a different format here for the next couple days with the 4th of July weekend. We're going to do these videos early in the day, get them out, and then we'll have all our written content over at shipitnation.com. If you are not already a member, get on over there. Check it out. $59 for the month, $599 for an annual package, and that includes everything that we have on our website, and we're always looking to add on. We're adding on new sports and improving our current product. We brought on MMA a couple weeks ago, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Titletown and Big Marley just absolutely dominating the content over there. So we'll have MLB going, PGA going, obviously, and then we're going to have some best ball content, and then we're going to roll right into NFL, and it's going to be a hell of an NFL season. Cannot wait. Very excited about that. As you can see, if you're watching this on video, your boy is at the lake. We got a nice little backdrop here behind us. Maybe we can get some action, see some boats, see some tubing, something along those lines. But yeah, we're gonna break down this slate. It's gonna be a quicker type video here, and then, like I said, our written content will all be on the website later. The slate kicks off at 7 Eastern. So let's go ahead and check out the slate here, see what we can find. It is obviously a little bit different format here today. The slate is smaller, like I said, and man, it's a pretty tough one, honestly. When you start digging into it, we'll do our normal standard format here. We'll kind of go ahead and talk about some pitchers, and then we'll dive in and look at some offenses, see what we can find, see what we like for the bats. First up, we'll look at DraftKings, and then I will talk some FanDuel too here at some point. In this upper range, the price, I will say pricing is pretty soft overall. We have Joe Ryan at 10K, Logan Webb at 9.2. There's only two guys over 9K today. Joe Ryan's kind of cooled off a little bit lately. We saw him absolutely dominate. Did have the one big outing against Boston for 45 fantasy points, but outside of that, hasn't been above 20 in any of his other last 6 starts, I'd say. So not a must, but the spot is good at home against KC, and with a lack of options today, I think he's definitely got to consider Logan Webb at home against Seattle. Again, he's cooled off a little bit. He was pitching better early on in the season, but the spot is pretty good at home against Seattle in this ballpark. So he's probably a guy we have to consider just because we don't have many options. Then it gets a little interesting. We have Mitch Keller at 8.8. Great season. One of the toughest spots in baseball, pitching in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. I think we still have to consider him a little bit here just because it's a smaller slate. We don't have a ton of options. Number one guy, though, for me is going to be Blake Snell at home. Gets the benefit of pitching in that nice ballpark, and he's just been on a heater. I mean, you look at the recent results in terms of fantasy points: 24, 30, 36, 37, 37, 26. He's our SP1 on the slate, and he's cheap at 8.6. So he's a guy that I want a lot of exposure to. We got Bruce Elder. Yeah, I think we can play him just because the lack of options that are on the road in Cleveland. You got Wells going up against Herman coming off that perfect game against Oakland, and he had been terrible prior to that. Back-to-back negative fantasy point games, negative 13, negative 7, and then the perfect game against Oakland for 52 fantasy points. So I guess if you want to go back to him, sure, have fun with it. Is Brian Wu guy been pretty solid just in terms of fantasy points: 17, 25, 23, 19. He's only 6.6K. Definitely a guy that we can play, and probably my favorite down here in this cheapish range. 6.6, a really good price tag for him. Two other guys I think you can play: Bria going against San Diego, 5.3K or 5.5, and then Michael Grove is only 5.3K. But man, the upside is very, very limited. So that's one of those situations where with Berea and Grove, where you just need the nuts offensively. Like you got to make sure you're getting all the big bats, all the guys that can just go off. It's the only way I'd really consider those guys down there in that lower range. My favorite down there is Wu. Snell, I think, is going to be our SP1. And then in terms of 150 lineups, like I'll be playing, Ryan, Webb, Keller, Elder. You can mix in those guys because they're just not a ton of options. It just forces you into that upper tier, really, unless you want to, get very, very risky with some of those guys down low, which I said you can do, but you're going to have have like just the absolute nut offense around it. What up to our guys here? Jake Swales. Happy 4th to you as well. Go Collect. I mean, had a nice win recently. How are you doing? And our boy Richie Smalls. Glad to have you guys here. Obviously, a little bit of a different format today. Hoop by himself at the lake, breaking down the slate early. We'll get through it. If you do have any questions, make sure to put them in the chat. Anything, to be honest with you. You can pump in personal questions, whatever the hell you want, because I'm by myself and talking baseball, 6-game slate, and there's really not too much to discuss or talk about. So definitely get some questions in there for sure. And at the end, I'll hit up on some questions because, like I said, this is going to move pretty darn quick. So that's kind of where we're at pitching over on FanDuel for pitching. They did a better job with Blake Snell's price tag. He's up to 10.9, which is where he should be. Still going to be easy to play him. I mean, even at 10.9, we just need a couple cheap bets to make it all work. I think he's totally fine. And then, those other guys are right there. Keller's 10.4. Webb is 10.1. Ryan is 9.9. If you fully want to punt off pitcher, you got Grove at 5.8. And then you got Berea at 6.3. Where's our guy Wu? Hopefully he's pitching. That's what it says on there. Seattle. Yeah, Wu. He is 9.2. I don't love that price tag. Much better play over there on DraftKings opposed to FanDuel. Yeah, Jeff Cooley. Thanks for the Malnati play. Yeah, our guy Malnati came back to in our lives this week. Always a supporter of Mr. Malnati, and he got the job done for us for cheap, very, very cheap. Solid week for him. And at these Rocket Mortgage type events where it's super easy, super low scoring, it's a good time to get back on track if you're kind of been struggling a little bit. And Malnati took advantage of that. All right, let's. Do we tell you? We talk FanDuel pitching. Yeah, Snell, I think I still want 10.9, fair price tag for him. The Keller thing's interesting, just really bad spot for him. But on a 6-game slate, we don't have many options. Can go to him. I prefer Snell, though, especially on the one-pitcher types sites like FanDuel. All right, I guess we'll just go game by game, fill some time here. Got Orioles and Yankees total sitting at 8.5. Wells versus Herman, not a ton of interest. I actually would have some interest in the Orioles here. It's a smaller slate. I think people will stay off of them because of the Herman perfect game last time out. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm definitely fine playing some Orioles here on a 6-game slate. If I'm playing those guys, though, I definitely want the high upside dudes, and they have a lot of them. Rushman, Mullins, O'Hearn in the middle of the order. He's still cheap. FanDuel is just like 2.6, I think, the price tag, and then 3.5. As long as he's hitting in the middle of the order, I have some interest. And then on the Yankees side, probably less interest in the Yankees. Rizzo, Stanton, you can play those guys, but for a full stack, I don't love it. Jacob Bowers is cheap at 2.6K. Maybe go ahead and give him a look. I was going to wait until after pitching, but are you on the Braves as your top stack? Well, we'll see when we get to that Braves game. We'll cover it, but man, the Braves are a fun team to play. Definitely a fun team to play. And the John Deere Classic, man, yeah, not looking forward to that one. I am going to do a first look video after this for the John Deere Classic, and it's like going to be one of the worst fields. I think I looked at the betting odds, and Cameron Young is the favorite, and he has been absolute dog shit, like really, really bad. So that tells you all you need to know about the John Deere Classic. But the golf stuff should pick up here pretty soon. I know the Open Championship coming up pretty soon. Speaking of the Braves and the Guardians, total in this one sitting at 9. Team total for the Braves about 5. Team total for the Guardians about 4. Not a ton of interest in Cleveland. They're just a boring team to stack, man. Like, I like Jose Ramirez. I'll play Naylor, but it just seems like they barely ever go off. So not a ton of interest there. I definitely prefer Elder. On the Braves side, you guys know my situation with the Braves. I mean, anytime they're playing a decent to bad pitcher, I'm in, and even good pitchers, I'm usually in. It's a fun team to stack. You can go top to bottom. Everybody is in play on most nights. It's easy to get creative. You know what you got to do. Go to the bottom, play dudes like Rosario or Arcia, Michael Harris. You just have to mix it up at the bottom of the order, guys. And it makes it fun, again, for DFS purposes when you go there, stack a team, and play anyone that you want. And that's what I'll be doing with the Braves. I think they're definitely a great team to look at tonight. All right, we're just going to, when these questions flow in, I'm going to hit on them, and then we'll keep it moving to the next game. How have you? I don't know. I usually adjust ownerships settings for stacking in 20 max. So, for baseball, I usually do 150 or like 10-ish. So it's usually 10 teams or 150, or if I'm just playing cash games, just one. But for 20, I don't think you need to make many adjustments. Maybe a tighter pitcher pool, a little bit tighter pitcher pool. Offense, like if you're a fringe liking an offense, maybe like don't play them. But as for baseball, you just got to stick to the same stuff, man. Make sure you're getting your stacks in there. If you're playing a popular stack, get unique. And Tambo and myself, we're going to start recording some more like evergreen, I believe, type content. So where we're covering these questions a little bit more in depth. But yeah, keep the questions going. Next game, we got the Royals and the Twins, 9 total. Team total for the Twins sitting at 5.5. They'll probably be a pretty popular team tonight because of the team total matchup with Cox. They're not like a slam dunk offense. When the Braves are in a good spot, let's just jam them in. Some hesitation with the Twins if they're going to be super popular, but I think we still need to get to them tonight. The one problem with stacking them is that bottom of that lineup looks like shit, and it's not fun. So we'll have to see what they roll out. But, I mean, most of my twin stack, I'd say like every twin stack needs to feature Buxton, just the most upside, by far. But this will be a pretty popular team, and it hasn't been the case in a while. So proceed with a little bit of caution, but, yeah, definitely in on them. Angels, Padres, total in this one sitting at 8. Most of it in terms of the runs on the Padres side, their team total sitting around 4.5. Angels, 3.5. Yeah, I like Snell. Going to play Snell, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to play some of these bats in my 150. And obviously it's Trout and Ohtani. Ohtani's just an absolute stud. Maybe Renfroe as like a one-off, maybe do a little 3-man Angels, but for the most part, definitely going to be on Snell over the Angels offense. Padres, I think, are fine. I'm surprised their team total is not a little bit higher here against Berea. He has the propensity to get rocked. They have a powerful offense, obviously, another team where you can play just about anyone. Trent Grisham's the guy that's just been awful. Has he turned it around? Turned around a little bit. All right, so maybe some signs of life. So, yeah, you could play everyone here in this lineup. Should have some cheapies at the bottom to kind of make it all work as well. So, it's always fun. So in on the Padres, out on the Angels besides like their main dudes. And then offense, yeah, it dries up pretty quick in these other games. You got the Mariners and the Giants, 7.5 total. 2 pitchers were in on Woo, Logan Webb. I mean, maybe the power bats here. Julio Rodriguez, you can always play. Cal Raleigh would be my 2 Mariners guys. Not super excited about them, but it's a smaller slate. So, it's fine going there. And then on the Giants side, like if you want to play Jock Peterson, I think he's fine. But outside of that, there's not much here. 7.5 total. I think we're good to like not be in on this game. Pirates and Dodgers. I'm not seeing. Let me see what the total is in this one. I'm not seeing it here at first. Should be relatively low. Yeah, maybe there's some uncertainty around who's pitching here, but I'm not seeing it even on like DraftKings. So I'm imagining pretty low. I mean, Keller's a good pitcher. Grove is projecting pretty well. I would have some interest in some of these Pirates lefties, depending on how their order shakes out. Sawinski, if Marcano's up there somewhere, yeah, sure. But yeah, it would be the lefties going to need to see the lineup, and we're not going to have it obviously for a long time. It's a 10 p.m. Eastern game. And then on the Dodgers side, I mean, Keller's been good, but this Dodgers offense is really good too. So I will have some Dodgers stacks. Muncy would be the name that kind of stands out. Freddie Freeman is a guy that I'd want to get exposure to. Then you can get some of these cheap outfielders. Peralta, Hayward, I think is fine. Outman. So I would have some interest in the Dodgers bats. Yeah, so okay, it looks like they're waiting for the Kershaw news. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, that's a 10 Eastern game, so that could all go out the window. So we'll see what happens with that. Monitor the news throughout the day. Obviously, in our Discord, we'll have that information available for everyone that is a member. In terms of stacks, I guess, definitely interested in the Twins, but caution just because it's just not a fun lineup. The Braves we like. Padres I do like. I think they could go a little overlooked, and Orioles I think are interesting as well here tonight. So we'll see. If there's any other questions, fire them in there. It's a 6-game slate, 4th of July weekend, not a ton to talk about. We'll keep the content rolling. I know big UFC card this week. It looks phenomenal, and your boy's on a little bit of UFC heater, and this is a pay-per-view next weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll have that content all throughout the week. We'll have the John Deere stuff covered all week long, including Showdown. So right now is a great time to be a member over at SHIPITNation.com. Like I said, $59 monthly, $5.99 annually. Get in before football. It's going to be the cheapest price here that we have. And we're only going to improve and add on to our product. And we do so. We've been doing so basically every week since we started this. So make sure to get on over there. Check it out. We really appreciate it. We would love it if you could hit the like and also hit the subscribe on this video. That also helps us out in a big way. So keep that all rolling. One more question. Can you rank the stacks? Braves, Padres, Orioles. So the Braves will be the most popular out of that group. I think the ownership is going to go in that order. Braves, Padres, Orioles. I will have Braves. Don't get me wrong. They're just too good of an offense. But I'd probably rank it Braves, Orioles, then Padres when you factor in ownership and everything. I think the Orioles could be sneaky tonight. I mean, you're going up against a guy that literally just threw a perfect game. No one's going to want to play that offense. But he had been bad prior to that perfect game. So I do think the Orioles have some success. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, a fun little 6-game slate. 4th of July weekend. See how it all plays out. But that's going to do it over here for the MLB. Like I said, we're calling it witching hour / quick hits. Please do us that favor. Like I said, on your way out, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Helps us out a ton. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to get on over to SHIPITNation.com and check out all the content for the slate this afternoon. Thanks again. We'll be back tomorrow.